Well, welcome everyone. Today I'm going to incorporate a bowing variation of a sun salutation into our flow. So you shouldn't need any props for today's practice. And we'll get started in child's pose, sitting down onto your heels, resting your belly to the top of your thighs, and then just drawing your arms back at your sides. So make sure your knees are positioned directly beneath the shoulders so your upper body is well supported. Begin to notice how the gentle pressure of your forehead to the floor encourages your mind to calm and to clear. So I think we can agree that across most cultures, the act of bowing is synonymous with expressing gratitude. And it's been scientifically proven that expressing gratitude on a daily basis makes you a healthier human being, not only physically, but also mentally. So just take a moment here to acknowledge all that you are grateful for in your life. And as you acknowledge all that you are grateful for, it makes what you have enough. Now begin to deepen your breath. And to initiate your Ujjayi breath, create a slight restriction in the back of your throat, allowing your breath to become audible, both on the inhalation and the exhalation. Create one continuous sound as you breathe. And now take a few moments here to settle into your breath. Your breath signaling the nervous system that it's time to slow down, to switch gears. And we'll begin by flowing through one of those bowing variations of a sun salutation before we start, just nice and slowly. Now, as you initiate your next inhalation, lift your forehead from the floor and rise all the way up onto your knees. The arms extend up, your gaze lifts towards your fingertips. As you exhale, back into child's pose, bowing forward, arms at your sides. Now, as you inhale, lift your forehead from the floor. Position your hands just in front of your shoulders. Tuck the toes under, lift your knees into upper plank. You can drop the knees if you need to, lower with control, hover if you can. Point the toes and either rise into little cobra or full upward dog, your choice. As you exhale, lift your hips, roll over your toes, settling into your first downward facing dog for 5 full breaths. So just bending one knee into the next. And as we move through these first few really gentle warming up postures, just notice how your body is feeling. Perhaps where you're feeling areas of tension or soreness. Now gradually begin to straighten your legs, but keeping a soft bend in your knees. Walk your hands to your toes, moving to the back of your mat in a forward fold. And just take hold of your elbows. Let your upper body hang nice and heavily over your thighs. Neck is relaxed. Feel free to sway the upper body gently from one side to the other. And if you're swaying, coming back to center, release your elbows, palms to the floor, return to downward dog. Walk your hands forward again, creating an even broader, more stable base through your palms. Now shifting your weight to your left foot, lift the right leg high behind you. Bend your knee, allow your heel to roll over your left hip. Neck stays relaxed. The higher you lift that right knee, the deeper the stretch to the front of your right hip and thigh. Now extend your right leg back out behind you, lower your foot to the floor, and switch sides. Lift the left leg high behind you, bend your knee, let your heel roll over the right hip. Straighten the left leg back out behind you, and now take a big step forward between your hands, ankle beneath the knee. Step the right foot forward to join the left. Inhale, heart lifts. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale to rise all the way up, arms overhead. As you exhale, draw your palms to your heart. Inhale, extend your arms, lift your gaze. As you exhale, fold forward. Hands down, heart lifts. Palms to the floor, step back into downward facing dog. Now back into our bowing flow, drop your knees to the floor. Keep the toes tucked under. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, child's pose, arms back at your sides. Inhale, upper plank, palms just in front of the shoulders. Lift the knees. As you exhale, lower. Inhale to rise upward. And exhale, back into downward dog for another 5 audible breaths. Become so focused on your breath that there isn't even the slightest opportunity for a thought to take hold. Take one more deep belly breath in, and at the bottom of your next breath, gaze forward to step, walk, or hop your feet between your hands. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, arms overhead. As you exhale, palms to heart. And again, inhale, reach up, look up. As you exhale, fold forward. Hands down, heart lifts. Palms to the floor. Downward facing dog, feet hip width apart. Drop your knees to the ground. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, upper plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale to rise upward. And exhale, back into downward dog for another 5 deep breaths. Imagine sliding the front of the mat forward through your palms so you're lengthening through the arms, lengthening through the sides of the upper body. Take one more full breath in, and at the bottom of your next breath, gaze forward to step or hop your feet between your hands. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, arms overhead. As you exhale, palms to heart. Inhale, extend your arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, palms to the floor, back into downward dog. Drop your knees to the floor. Inhale, rise up, gaze upward. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, upper plank. Palms to the floor, lift the knees. As you exhale, lower. Inhale to rise upward, and exhale, back into downward dog. Now at the bottom of your next breath, step your right foot forward, ankle beneath the knee. Pivot on the ball of your back foot to drop the heel, and now raise your arms into Warrior One. Sinking deeply into that right knee, lengthening fully through your back leg, lifting your gaze only if it's comfortable for your neck. Take one more full breath in, draw your head to center, open the arms wide into Warrior Two, taking a quick peek over your left shoulder just to ensure that your arms are aligned with the long edge of your mat. Now gaze forward over your middle finger on your right hand. Gently nudge your right knee out towards your little toe, just to make sure that your knee is aligned directly over the ankle. Now slowly straighten your right leg, take a big reach forward, and tip into triangle with a nice lengthy spine. Turning your gaze toward your higher hand. Shoulders stacked over your right leg. As you initiate your next inhalation, rise all the way up. Bend the right knee, sinking back into Warrior Two. Now flip your right palm to the ceiling. Inhale, reach up and back, Exalted Warrior. Left hand trickles softly down the outside of your left thigh. Take one more big breath in. Exhale back to center. Extended side angle pose, either elbow to thigh, reaching the left arm forward. If you can reach, resting your right hand to the floor on the little toe side of your foot. Tucking your chin into that left armpit, gazing forward toward your fingertips. Now take one more big breath in. Turn your gaze to your big toe on your right foot. Plant your left hand to the floor and step back into Downward Dog. Drop your knees to the ground. Inhale, rise up, reach up, press the hips forward. Exhale, Child's Pose. Inhale, upper plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale to rise upward, and exhale, Downward Facing Dog. Now repeating that same sequence on the opposite side, stepping the left foot forward, drop the right heel, sweep the arms back into Warrior One. Work towards squaring the hips and shoulders to the top edge of your mat. Add a little bit more depth. Take one more big breath in. Head to center, Warrior Two. Feeling that subtle activation of your core. Arms are long and strong. Broad across the chest, broad across the shoulders. Take one more full breath. And now straighten your left leg. Take a big reach forward and tip back into that lengthy triangle. Gazing towards your right hand this time, lengthening through both sides of the upper body. Now as you initiate your next inhalation, rise all the way up, sink back into Warrior Two, flip the left palm to the ceiling, reach up and back, Exalted Warrior. One more big breath in, and now back into whichever variation of extended side angle you took on the opposite side, either elbow to thigh or palm to the floor on the little toe side of the left foot. And lean back into the shoulder blades. Turning your gaze to your big toe on your left foot, lower your right hand to the floor. Step all the way back into Downward Dog again. Drop your knees to the floor, toes stay tucked under. Inhale, reach up, rise up. Exhale, Child's Pose. Inhale, upper plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale to rise upward and back into Downward Dog. This time taking 5 restful breaths in Downward Dog. Drawing fresh oxygen, nutrients, prana to every single cell in your being. Take one more deep breath in, and at the bottom of your next breath, gaze forward to step or hop between your hands. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, arms overhead. As you exhale, palms to heart. Inhale, extend your arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, palms to the floor, Downward Dog. Drop your knees to the floor. Inhale, Rise up, reach up. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, upward plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward dog. Now at the bottom of your next breath, step your right foot forward. Pivot on the ball of the back foot to drop the heel, and this time rise directly into Exalted Warrior. Gazing towards your right hand. Take one more big breath in. As you exhale, return to center, and this time plant your right hand to the floor on the inside of your right foot. Left arm reaches to the sky. Feel your right shoulder pressing gently into that right inner thigh. And either hold it here or perhaps take the bind. Right arm reaches underneath that right knee. Left arm extends behind your back to catch your hands. Now, if you're bound, release the bind, open the arms. Turn your gaze to your right hand on the floor. Lower your left hand to the floor to join the right. And now step your left foot forward into a nice deep squat. Allow the toes to splay outward slightly. You might separate your feet a little further apart. And now pry the knees apart with your elbows and press the palms together. As the palms press together, the chest lifts, the spine lengthens. Draw your chin back to increase the length through the back of your neck. Work towards grounding into the heels. And now with the option of taking it a step or two further, separating your palms, place your fingertips to the floor in front of you. Walk your big toes all the way together to touch. Continue to pry the knees apart with your elbows and either hold it here with your fingertips to the floor or alternatively wrap your arms so tightly around the shins that you can catch your heels with both hands. Chin drops to the chest. Crown of the head drops toward the floor. Nice deep stretch here from the base of your spine right through to the crown of your head. Let the chin drop right to the chest, finding that perfect counterbalance between the hips and the head. Now if you've caught your heels, release your heels. Place your fingertips back to the floor in front of your toes. And now straighten your legs into a standing forward fold, walking the feet back to that 2 fists distance apart. Hands rest to shins, ankles, or around the big toes if you can reach. As you inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, fold forward. Let your head hang nice and heavily. Feel the shoulders slide up toward the hips. Notice the tendency to shift your weight back into your heels and then redirect your weight forward toward the balls of your feet. Soft, steady gaze just past the tip of your nose. Now keeping your hands where they are as you inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, fold forward. Release your toes, soften into your knees, plant your palms to the floor, and step back into downward dog. Drop your knees to the floor. Inhale, rise up, reach up, gaze follows. Exhale, back into child's pose. Inhale, upward plank. As you exhale, lower. Inhale to rise upward and back into downward dog. At the bottom of your next breath, left foot steps forward. Drop your right heel to the floor and now return to Exalted Warrior. Reach up through the left arm. Take one more full breath in. Exhale back to center. Left hand to the floor on the inside of your left foot. Right arm reaches to the sky. Take a moment here, stack the shoulders. And if you took the bind on the opposite side, threading the left arm underneath the left knee, right arm reaches behind your back to catch your hands. If you're bound, release the bind, open the arms. Turning your gaze to your left hand on the floor, lower the right hand to the floor to join the left. And now step your right foot forward, back into that nice deep squat again. Once again, prying the knees apart with the elbows, pressing the palms together. So just pause here for a few big breaths. And now separating your palms, place your right hand to the floor in front of your big toe on your right foot. Sweep your left arm to the ceiling. Lift your gaze. Now either hold it here with the arms open or wrap the right arm tightly around the front of the right shin. Left arm extends behind your back to catch your hands. Feel your spine lengthen into the twist. Lift your heart, roll the shoulders back. Gaze over your left shoulder. Now if you're bound, release your bind. Right hand to the floor, left arm to the sky, and then back to where we started. Prying the knees apart with the elbows, palms together. Switching sides, left hand to the floor in front of your big toe on your left foot. Extend your right arm to the ceiling. Press your left shoulder into that left inner thigh. And if you took the bind on the opposite side, wrap the left arm around the front of the left shin. Reach your right arm behind your back to catch your hands behind the left hip. Gazing over the right shoulder. Distribute your weight equally between both feet. Lift your heart, feel your spine lengthen into the twist. If you're bound, release the bind, left hand to the floor, right arm back to the ceiling, and then back to where we began, prying the knees apart with the elbows, palms together. Now separating your palms, place your fingertips to the floor behind your hips. Gently ease your hips to the ground and draw the soles of the feet together into butterfly pose, clasping your feet around the outer edges. Gently press your knees toward the floor, lift your heart. Tuck the chin toward the chest, gazing down toward your big toes. And now releasing the outer edges of your feet, slide your heels out in front of you slightly to form a diamond shape between your legs. Thread your arms underneath your ankles and catch the outer edges of your feet. And this time let your entire spine collapse. Let your forehead drop toward your toes. So this is almost a seated variation of that garland pose in the deep squat. Let your forehead drop toward your heels. Allow your spine to completely collapse here. Breathing a little more deeply into this curled up, this crunched up position. You might even choose to pull up on the feet to create more traction here through the lower back. Now slowly release the feet, draw the upper body back to center. Tuck your legs into a cross-legged position, roll forward onto all fours, and step back into downward facing dog. Now dropping your knees to the floor, inhale, rise up, reach up. As you exhale, settle back into child's pose, but hold it here this time. Keep the toes tucked under. Moving into a half variation of camel pose from here, the right hand catches the right heel. As you inhale, rise back onto your knees. The left arm reaches toward the ceiling. Your gaze follows. Press your hips forward just to ensure that your hip bones are hovering over the knees. Either hold it here with that left arm extended, or feel free to windmill that left arm back, catching the left heel, pressing the hips forward, lifting the heart, head falls back. To come out of this posture, windmill the left arm forward, head to center, right arm forward, plant your palms to the floor, lift the knees, upper plank. As you exhale, lower. Inhale to rise. Exhale, downward facing dog. Switching sides, dropping the knees to the floor. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, back into child's pose. Now this time, catch your left heel with your left hand. As you inhale, rise back into half camel, pressing the hips forward, raising that right arm. Once again, with the option of reaching the right arm back, catching the right heel, so you're catching the heels with both hands. Entirely optional, perhaps holding it here. And if you've caught that right heel with your right hand, sweeping the right arm back toward the ceiling, head to center, left arm sweeps forward, plant your palms to the floor, lift the knees, upper plank, lower with control. Inhale to rise upward, and exhale, downward facing dog. Now shifting forward into one last upper plank, shoulders over the wrists. Keep your core nice and strong, lower all the way down onto your belly. As your belly comes to rest, gently roll over onto your back. And then just bend your knees, place your heels to the floor, hug your knees to your chest. Wrap your hands around your shins and gently rock from side to side. Keeping hold of your right knee, straighten your left leg down onto your mat. Reach your right arm to the side, palm down. Turning your gaze to the right, begin to guide the knee to the left. Drawing that knee over just as far as the hip and the lower back will allow. Drawing your head to center, guide the right knee back. Give both knees another squeeze. And now switch sides. Straighten your right leg down onto your mat. Reach the left arm to the side. Turn your gaze to the left and draw the knee to the right. And just a little bit more effort to your breath as you breathe into the twist. Now drawing your head back to center, guide the left knee back and give both knees one last squeeze. Release your shins, lower your feet to the floor, extend your legs fully down onto your mat for our final posture. Arms resting at your sides, palms open to the ceiling. Now take a deep breath in through the nose and an audible sigh out through the mouth. Once more, deep breath in through the nose, empty through the mouth. And now relax the restriction in the back of your throat. Allow your breath to return to its natural, relaxed rhythm. Let your thoughts float by as if they were clouds. Be the sky. Now, keeping your eyes closed, slowly begin to resurface. Feel the slightest movement arise through your fingers and toes. Extend your arms out overhead for a full body stretch. Reach from end to end. Bend your knees, draw your feet to your mat, and now roll softly to your right side, resting your head to your upper right arm. And now rise from here to a seated cross-legged position. Drawing your hands to your heart, opening our eyes to each other. Namaste. Well, enjoy the rest of your day. If you're enjoying my classes, please subscribe. I've also recently added a little PayPal button to the main page of my YouTube channel, just to the right of Mount Rundle there in the top right-hand corner. So feel free to donate. Have a great day.